You are ready to begin your journey across the dread dungeon. What has moved you to make this perilous trek? Are you one of the dungeon's many prisoners searching for escape? Have you heard tales of a fantastic treasure that lies hidden within? Do you seek to meet the ruler of the dungeon? Whatever your motives and aspirations, you know that a small creature such as yourself has no chance of surviving the dungeon without help. For this reason, you have secured the services of an adventuring companion. An ancient stone doorway yawns darkly before you like the maw of some gargantuan creature. You cross the ominous threshold and advance into the first of many dark, dusty, and foul-smelling tunnels.
Hello everybody, I am Penflower and welcome to this latest time-lapse art process video with a rambling voiceover on top of it. What you just heard me read out was the current introduction to my latest game design project. The game is shaping up to be a solo/co-op journaling game about traversing a fantasy dungeon as a defenseless, squishy little guy who must recruit and rely upon adventurers to survive. While I talk a bit more about this game project, you'll see me design and draw 3 classic dungeon crawling adventurer characters, each with their own squishy little companion. So, first off, while this game will use the core mechanics of my passkey system, it will be the first of my games that I design with solo play in mind right from the start. I know some people out there have successfully played Stravagante as a solo game, but that was not something I even considered during the design process. So this has presented me with a new design challenge, and it's an opportunity to see what else I can do with the passkey system. For as long as I've been designing TTRPGs, I have toyed and experimented with the idea of creating a dungeon crawling RPG with my own spin on the formula. My fascination with this particular subgenre of fantasy role-playing is probably due to my first introduction to tabletop role-playing in general, which were the fighting fantasy Choose Your Own Adventure gamebooks by Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone. Indeed, fighting fantasy is one of the 3 major sources of inspiration for this current game project. I've been going through my small collection of books for inspiration and just remembering how much I enjoyed playing them, even though I often wished I had more options beyond running away or attacking. What if I wanted to befriend the Minotaur or tame the gelatinous slime? On that note, another source of inspiration has been creature capturing games, things like Pokemon or the wonderful video game Moonstone Island. One of the earliest ideas I had for this game was that the player's squishy little avatar would begin their dungeon crawl with 1 or 2 adventurers and then recruit others along their journey. There's even a bond mechanic which incentivizes the player to keep their connection to their adventurers strong, otherwise the latter will just abandon them mid-adventure. I had even originally planned to have a set list of adventurers to collect, maybe even as cards, but in the end I much more prefer the idea of the player randomly generating each adventurer so that each playthrough would feel unique. The third source of inspiration, particularly for how the dungeon crawling works mechanically, is the excellent solo journaling game 1000-Year-Old Vampire by Tim Hutchings. The journey across the dungeon in my game will consist of working your way through a list of prompts. Like in 1000-Year-Old Vampire, your movement from one prompt to the next will be determined by rolling 2 dice and subtracting a value, with a positive result meaning you move forward on the list and a negative result moving you backwards. These prompts will be mostly narrative and open to interpretation, but they will focus on areas of the dungeon instead of life events, so they'd be featuring creature encounters, hazards, and so on. In essence, I'm hoping for this game to be a good balance of roguelite, dungeon crawling, and solo journaling with a bit of creature capture flavour sprinkled in as well. It's been a very fun challenge, and I'm looking forward to having enough prompts written up so that I can do a proper playtest. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want to keep up to date with my work, and specifically this game as I work on it, you should subscribe to my newsletter by joining my Patreon as a free or paying member. That is all for now. Until next time, bye bye.